All right, we're live. Bring up yours. Caught up where you need to be yet, or?
Yep.
All right, well, bring the meeting to order. We'll start with our roll call. Jake, can go.
All here.
Erickson here.
Warner here. Erickson here.
Grant here.
Imker here.
And Keel here. We'll stand for our pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks for everybody for being here. We're getting our technology going, it looks like. And well, Godfrey's doing that. We supposed to have video too? Are we good?
Yes.
All right, we have our first order would be we have a motion for the agenda. If everybody's gone through the agenda, we have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Troy, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Brian. Any questions? If not, oh, we should, I got a brain fade. All in favor to approve our agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to approve our agenda. We'll move on to our straight through to new business. We don't show any old business listed here, so we'll have our first order of business, and the new business would be a concession stand stipend.
So, with Betsy's retirement, we did have junior, senior, advisor, and with that has come concession stand. We did have somebody accept the junior, senior advisor position, Ms. Frazier. Trying to figure out, and that's a percentage that's already built into the contract, but it doesn't have anything with concessions. So I was recommending a stipend of $2,500 to manage concessions. Thinking about what prior pay was and the percentage, and factoring all in together and the amount of work. So $2,500 a year for managing all concessions.
Got the football concessions too outside,
Yes.
baseball, everything.
Whoever is responsible for concessions, it'll be all concessions.
So the junior, senior advisor and the 2,500, was Betsy getting all of that?
So we looked at, I had Stacy give me how much he was getting paid, and I think it was more than the contracted percentage, the extracurricular percentage. That would be comparable with her wages and everything. So there was some, and we can't figure out how it was calculated.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more than the percentage would have been, so there had to have been extra money in there for doing concessions too, is the way it seems.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my first initial reaction would be how the time that was spent on each. And I'm sure that's super hard to quantify.
Well, I can tell you Betsy spent a lot of time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So like, I wanna make sure that that's split out of there, how it should be or appropriately for those two separate.
So just a suggestion of $2,500, it could be, the board, it could be more or less, that's just what I'm kind of looking at. My last district, we started off with $2,500, and then once that person got their serve safe qualifications, we bumped it up another $1,000, because that made them responsible for the concession stand. So right now, the concession stand health-wise would fall under the kitchen,
Okay.
unless that person becomes serve safe qualified.
And, go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say for time wise and all that, she be planning on being in there every,
Wouldn't be in there, wouldn't be required to be in there during concessions, because
Okay.
the groups are running it and have an adult with them.
So this would be for organizing and ordering all of the
Inventory,
supplies.
stocking,
arranging the people to actually work in there.
doing the scheduling, ensuring the cleanliness, because if we ever got inspected by the health inspector, that's liable to be inspected as well. So they would be responsible for going through that as well.
The concession stand in here clean, like, that's part of the custodial duties too, or is that a separate?
Well, the people that, the groups that run it, they're responsibility, responsible for cleaning when they're done, but whoever does concessions is responsible for inspecting and ensuring that.
We're just kinda quiet here, I'm just trying to make sure that cause I know I just, Betsy always, that's just different, cause it's gonna be a transition, we're so used to her being at almost every game, and
My
that
pay was
just,
based on a parapay, percentage of a parapay, not a percentage of a teacher's pay, so that's why there's a discrepancy there. So the superintendents in the past, because the percentage of a parapay is not anywhere close to what a percentage of a teacher's pay is. And they just randomly just said, you're not getting enough, and they just gave me a little bit more
okay,
each year, that's how
okay,
that happened.
it's just gonna be
Is there
different with,
anything in the contracts that say how we're supposed to do it at all, or?
It doesn't mention concessions,
Okay.
there's just a junior senior advisor.
Okay.
you've discussed all the duties with her and,
Yes.
okay.
Well, there are a few people that came forward that are interested in it,
Yeah, that's good.
but I didn't, I told them I don't wanna really get in depth about it until I know what the pay will be, cause that's what they're interested in. So I wanna make sure we have that, maybe we could drop a, kind of description of duties for that, but it doesn't make any sense until we know what the stipend will be.
Other than that, I guess we probably need a motion to decide on the concession stand stipend, so we, like you said, we'd start at, that's a suggestion, is to start at 2,500,
That's if the board doesn't agree.
it's suggested, so.
Only for the year that's, we're not overpaying at that price, I don't think.
I don't think so, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think we can compare it to the job Betsy did, cause she put lots of work behind it.
Yeah. I think we need to work with Betsy too, to draw up the expectations of everything that's gonna be required there, cause it's a lot.
Again, I didn't even know if it was worth moving forward with any of that until we knew kind of what we were expecting.
But then, if we'd start at 2,500 and then this surf safe, that's not really, we're fine running the way we are, but if we, what is the advantage of,
Then that person takes the responsibility off of the kitchen for maintaining it, like, I don't think our kitchen staff go in there and clean it and make sure it's cleaned to specs, but it falls under their health certificate.
is there a risk of not of running it under there? Because if you get issues on that side, does that affect our kitchen side then, or?
Not particularly, but I mean, to get the Surf Safe qualified, I mean, it takes work. There's some studying, there's tests you gotta take, there's money you have to pay.
But we can always look at that as an option for the future, if somebody would be interested in doing safe surf. And we can cover that later, because then we'd have to discuss what we pay and what they pay. But other than that, would we,
Motion to approve then,
thanks Nate, we have the motion to approve the stipend and have it start at 2,500? Or is that?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by Nate and second by Troy. Any other questions or discussion?
I just wanna take a second to publicly recognize all of the work that Betsy has put in doing that over the years, because it is pretty thankless. And it's a ton of scrambling to find workers at times, so Betsy, thank you.
Thank you, Betsy.
She did a good job of getting workers scheduled, which can often be a problem.
Yeah,
As I said, we're gonna notice a transition without her in there, so.
I'm not leaving
That's good.
somebody's gotta make the chili.
town.
Somebody
Go
gotta,
back and yell at kids.
yeah.
But hearing that, we all in favor to for the concession stand stipend, and then we'll start at 2,500, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries for the concession stand stipend, and start at 2,500. Next order of business would be, ash trees in the baseball field.
So Colby dad brought it to my attention, one of them's dead, so wonder if it makes sense to just take them all down now, and then we can find some other tree, and probably get them free from the state to plant. I wanted to bring that before the board first as an alteration of our building and grounds footprint. We would use
I was
LTFM,
supposed to ask.
yeah, so I mean, it wouldn't be an exorbitant cost, but I think being proactive is probably a good idea to do it.
I have a bunch of names you could call.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of guys deal with all these tree lines of these farmers that are dealing with it, so we have a bunch of people that are doing it and people get bids from. I got three, four names I can get you.
Even because of the cost of it and the level of cost, we wouldn't even have to bid out, but if I can get some contractors, I would just call them.
The other thing is that the Lamberton Lions are, looking into doing a program where they order trees at a discount. So we could possibly get replacement trees.
Yeah, I mean, it would take years for them to be up,
I
but
think Bryce had said that he planted these
yeah, that's what
years living in this town.
he told me. Yeah, I even said no. He said, I wish I would have known back then.
Mhm.
I shouldn't have planted ash.
That's
Yeah, him and
What
like
do people
all
do?
of us.
How many is there
I'm not.
roughly?
Colby, do you know? Colby, do you know how many are up there that need to be taken down? Yeah, I think he said something like 6 maybe.
It's not that many, it ain't so bad. I'll say that.
And then be proactive and just take it out. So the board would need to approve that.
I'll make a motion
Megan
to remove the ash trees.
Second.
Megan and Nate makes the motion and Nate seconded. Any other question or discussion regarding the trees? Hearing none, all in favor for the ash tree and around the baseball field lot for the removal, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, remove the ash trees as needed, and we'll follow the direction of contractors or whoever service comes out, and,
Yeah, I'll follow through with them.
okay. We'll move on to our next one, which would be the procurement policy of 721 is the policy number, and that's included on a link on your agenda packets.
So I worked diligently and tirelessly with our policy committee, if you had no clue what this said. But it's just what it is, it aligns with state and federal requirements for the different levels that we have to get approval from the state. It tells who has authority to spend and at what limits. It's just a very standard policy. As we went through, with our current special ed fiscal monitoring audit, this was something that we were lacking. This is a new policy. A lot of times, we don't have necessarily a procurement policy, or if you do, it's not a template, wasn't in the past a template through MSBA because there's already state and federal guidelines. And now we're required to do this because of the fiscal monitoring.
Basically, it just follows all the statutes that we're required to, and I mean, that's a simple explanation.
Yes, basically aligns it with the law.
It does. It is not a simple policy. It is very long,
Mm-hmm.
but taken directly from
Right, out of
the MSBA.
MSBA.
Mhm.
Did you guys what's the right word, have to add it or personalize it for the district at all? You just,
No, not
okay.
Put a couple names in, I think was it,
Couple
right?
names.
Other than that, it's pretty much aligned.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to adopt policy 721.
Brian makes a motion to adopt the policy. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Jake. Any other questions or discussion regarding the policy? Hearing none, all in favor to accept the 721 procurement policy, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to accept that 721 procurement policy. Next order of business is, falls under a building automation system contract.
So Mark Jones, our Director of Building Grounds, so this company that we use to monitor our HVAC system, it's all computerized. We didn't have a contract with them up to this point. So he spoke with them and got a contract, some proposals. I asked him what he felt was in the best interest as far as affordability. He said the lowest price, just so we have the monitoring, so should something go to us down, if there's an emergency, it can be accessed remotely. Middle of winter and the heating system goes down, we can access that, it throws alerts. We're able to correct that through a web-based program, and if not, at least we know what to come in, and they can also have access to that, to help troubleshoot that as well.
So basically, we don't have this contractor, we won't have access to any of that options for the system then, or
Correct,
they won't?
correct, we would need a contract with them.
So do we have any background on why we did not move forward with that?
I do not, I've asked and I can't get.
I was told it was being worked on, just the tech support end of it. Just never got done.
Okay.
And that's all you're talking about getting, right?
Yes.
Just that first,
Yep, gives us access,
like $3,100 or whatever.
gives us access, gives us access to the system, the tech support, troubleshooting. And really, that's all we need.
Cause the maintenance side of it further down seems outrageously expensive.
Yes,
Even
which
if
we
we
don't need.
Right.
So yeah, just the basic contract, and once it gets some age, and we do have options, I'm sure, to add some of that as we go, as it gets a little bit of age to it. I don't know if that's even worth it, or,
That's gonna be probably a long ways down.
Okay. how much, I guess I scrolled over, how much was the contract, you said?
3132.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was
What page is
assured,
in that, Brian?
I was assured that was perfectly fine.
Is that? 7.
So this is for our heating?
It's for HVAC system.
Okay.
Heating and AC. Well, especially the most important in the winter, if a boiler has an issue, it'll flag an alarm and
Yes. I would say that's probably the most, not a boiler, but an air handler.
rear hand.
So then this company is dispatched through the system, through our actual equipment.
Yep, I have, you guys are looking at the correct thing, and I have,
It's all remotely done. As far as this goes.
Okay.
Like if they have to come out, that's an extra service fee or whatever, but.
Mm-hmm. We'd at least be aware.
yes. And most of the systems, mechanical systems now are all web-based. So it's-
I'm just like a little bit surprised that we have all of that technology and we never implemented.
And that's the way most systems, newer systems are run. I mean, it's all computer-based, it's all web-based, I should say. I mean, you can pinpoint exactly what it is. If it's a damper that's closed or not opening or whatever, you can pinpoint right away where in the system it's malfunctioning.
No reality, if we don't use it, I'm kind of guessing that if something goes down, the diagnostic, they'd have to come out in person to do it, and then,
And we'll use it though,
Yeah.
we'll still use it, because we've had issues with heating and cooling here, especially recently, it's been exorbitantly warm in some rooms. What we have to do now is call the company and have them troubleshoot it or come out and fix it. This way we can tell exactly where it is in the system we're having an issue, like if it's a damper, you go, might be stuck, Mark can go take care of that,
you can see which dampers having, it should tell you which dampers having issues or open, or,
right? Or if we need assistance, we can call directly and say, this is what's going on.
Can it see that there's certain maintenance that needs to be done that we're not seeing, like air filters or?
Air filters are probably not, air filters are already on the schedule.
Okay.
We do have them coming out, they're gonna train Mark on the replacement. Each air handler has several filters, and you have big filters and you have smaller filters, and some of them get changed annually and some of them are biannually. So they're gonna come out and do some training on that, actually pretty soon.
that's separate than what this contract is.
That is separate, but the training is, it's a one-time training.
So like last year when the weight room had no heating, would this have detected that?
Yes, right away. So basically it'll throw an alert that goes to your phone.
Like when we had to call somebody to come look at it, did we spend extra money on that for them to figure anything out where this would have done that?
Yes, we can spend money on
This includes like software updates too, it's said in there.
Yep,
If there's
everything,
any
even
new
the
software. So.
Yeah, it's a yearly fee, right?
yes.
Yeah, update the software as it's working. Not
Just like your tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fix it if it's not broke.
I'm well aware.
Any other input or questions regarding the system? Do we have a motion to approve the building automation system contract?
Did you say which double or which one?
Right, just the
going with?
basic is,
Basic.
The basic, yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the basic package.
And again, this will be LTFM.
I'll second that.
by motion, Bruce seconds. Is there any other question or discussion?
The basic package,
Yes.
the very bottom.
Yes.
Then the LTFM can cover that all the time, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's just set for 1 year and we're not gonna be tied in for,
No, it's when your contract will go.
Okay.
I'm sure costs will go up over time with
Yeah.
inflation, but
any more questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor to approve the building automation system contract, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to approve the building automation system contract. Next will be we'll move into our superintendent's student advisory cabinet student activity fund, so.
we have a resolution for this. It just establishes a student activity fund for the students, superintendent's student advisory cabinet. They did a fundraiser now. We have money to put in their account. We just need to create the account, so that's by board resolution.
I suppose you want me to read this whole thing too. Love that one. On the right page, so, oh. We'll be discussing the,
Actually, printed out.
I just printed
So can I
it
ask before you start reading, what are you hoping, what are the goals? What are you hoping to fundraise for?
That's actually, I'm leaving it up to them.
Okay,
But community service is what comes to mind the most.
Yeah.
They did a great job selling. I think we could have made more money. I think we priced it against our advantage,
mhm,
but I let them do that.
Yep.
This is their group, and I wanted them to make the majority of every decision. So we learned. If it happens again, we do this fundraiser, we'll know, and there'll be probably a more expensive price. I bought ribeyes and it's a lot cheaper than I can buy at Walmart.
I think it was a great idea for a different fundraiser.
And I think they did a great job. I mean, I know one young lady in particular that had a full sheet. And I made packing her stuff up too, so she did a good job.
That's good. You have a list of how much they raised then?
I don't have that number right now.
Okay.
It's not a lot, just
Mhm.
because the way it was priced.
Yeah.
So,
It's a good start.
It's a good
I
start.
also think it's a great partnership with High Water Creeks. I mean, it was fun. It was fun doing it. I think she enjoyed doing it. Advertising their name on her, on her Facebook page. I think that's great. That's a great business relationship.
But here in, see, resolution to establish superintendent's student advisory cabinet student activity fund, whereas the school board of Red Rock Central School District seeks to ensure proper fiscal management and transparency for specific projects and donations. Whereas the school district has identified a need to establish a student activity fund for superintendent's student advisory cabinet. Whereas it is the desire of the school board to comply with Minnesota Uniform Financial Accounting Standards by formally restricting funds for this specific purpose. Now therefore be resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 2884, Red Rock Central, hereby authorizes the establishment of a student activity fund to be titled to the students, or to the superintendent's student advisory cabinet. Be it further resolved that the funds within the superintendent's student advisory cabinet are hereby dedicated exclusively to the purpose listed on the statement of purpose and shall not be used for any other purpose without a formal updated activity purpose statement. Be it further resolved that the business and superintendent's administrative assistant are authorized to oversee the accounting and expenditures of this fund, ensuring they are adhere to the Minnesota School District Accounting Manual guidelines. So we have a motion for create the superintendent student advisory cabinet student activity fund.
I'll make a motion.
Megan makes a motion. We have a second.
I'll second that.
Any other questions regarding this? Hearing none, we'll go by, this is a resolution vote or roll call vote. You wanna start, Jake?
Well, yes.
Erickson, yes.
Warner, yes.
Erickson, yes.
Grant, yes.
Dimker, yes?
Keel, yes. Be it further resolved that the business and superintendent's administrative assistants are authorized to oversee the accounting and we have duly adopted by the Red Rock Central School District Board the 6th of May here, so the motion carries. And then thanks for bringing that forth.
I think the kids enjoy it.
Yeah.
We'll just need your signature and Nate's signature on there, so
I'll do that right now so I forget.
I'll give that to Keely.
Okay.
Paper passer.
Tom, related to that, just thinking in the future, next fall, when new students are, added to or elected to all the different groups in the school, I'd like to hear from them.
Oh.
Their goal, their plans for the upcoming year. So can we look forward to that this fall?
Yep, and we had student advisory cabinet here earlier this year and kind of give an update of what they were doing. We were planning on a follow-up, but coordinating it with them was a little bit more difficult because one of them's a senior and,
Mhm.
but yeah, we'll definitely do that.
I think that'd be great, cause we like to see their involvement on all levels here and then
Yeah.
getting them uncomfortable in this room helps. I really think it helps mature them and puts them to the next level for leadership.
Well, when Bowen presented, I don't think he was uncomfortable.
No. I'd like to thank the students in the superintendent's advisory cabinet for participating. That's been a great thing. Otherwise, the other one will move on to our next order of business, which would be the elementary reading curriculum adoption, which there's a link on our agenda for that as well.
Yeah, and both of these are budgeted for this year. If you'll recall, when I got here, there was a purchase that came through that I halted and talked with elementary teachers because I wanted to make sure that they were good with what was selected, and some felt they didn't have really any voice in it. So we did a pilot this year on 2 curriculums. One that they had chose, Wit and Wisdom, and one CKLA Amplify. And at the end, they came to the conclusion that the CKL Amplify was more fitting for them. Probably could teach with truer to fidelity. Also, and here's a quote for kindergarten curriculum, which is a different one. I had the opportunity to witness this in action, and it's amazing. Kids are playing and learning without even realizing they're learning. So the curriculum here in the budget that you received from Jordan, the preliminary budget, those were budgeted.
Okay.
We went the CKLA 3-year, even though it costs more than the 1 year, it was a tremendous savings. So it costs more, but not a tremendous lot more.
So we have the right to use it for 3 years.
Yes, so that's access to it for 3 years, and then we have to look at revising that subscription. And in that comes training and everything is included.
How different
I'm glad to hear that we piloted different programs and then ended up with the choice that the most or the majority felt was the better choice.
Yep, I think that's important because they're teaching.
Well, and it would have been money wasted.
Yeah, they're the ones in the classroom, they need to feel comfortable with what they're doing. The only way to have, on the power our teachers, give them the opportunity to have some say in what they're doing in their classrooms.
So it's kind of nice because it's the decision here I guess we can stress that it's not solely based on the bottom line or the number, it's actually how it performed in the classroom and
Well, I'm glad that the teachers have a say in it because they're really more passionate teaching it and they're gonna do a better job and they're gonna like it better, so thanks for letting them do that.
I also know the Wit and Wisdom and I don't like it. I've used it, I've researched it in another district and it didn't make any sense, the layout. And that could be just me looking at it from not being in the classroom. I know that the teachers in my last district didn't like it for the same reasons I think that our teachers didn't necessarily like it.
So in this program here, all the teachers on board with it, or you have like a 50-50 split, or how was it?
I didn't hear anybody say adamantly no. I did hear a lot of teachers that were working with Wit and Wisdom, and so they had the opportunity to switch mid-year, and a lot of teachers that were working with Wit and Wisdom and then went to CKLA liked CKLA better.
then the quantities and all that, I guess that's easy to order for next year if they need.
Well, this is fit for our enrollment for next year.
Okay, it is, but
Yep, I gave them projected enrollment,
Yeah.
so.
for future, if it goes up, it's pretty easy to,
Yes,
they should.
You a la carte the extra,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. And I think, I've worked with this vendor before, so kinda got us a deal, and I think going forward, we can always negotiate that.
Okay.
So is this a one-time payment up front, or is it a per year?
One time.
We pay it all this year, and the next 2 years we don't have to pay it?
Correct.
Okay.
Next 3 years.
The next-
after this year. Yeah,
Oh, so it's 4 years?
no, it's
This year and 2 more?
next year and the following 2 years after that.
Okay.
So there's nothing really else more that we really need to understand, but the prices are listed here. There's a good portion of the discounts. I'm not sure how that worked, if it was a certain deadline that we did.
Talk to her, we're fine.
Oh, okay. You can't get that up a little bit more.
They gave us a pretty good
They
deal.
did.
I told her that it wouldn't be paid, it's not gonna be paid until next budget year,
Okay,
and they know that. As a matter, the quote, and signing the quote is a matter of holding the price for us.
okay, would we have a motion for our elementary reading curriculum adoption?
I'll make a motion, we approve the reading curriculum adoption. Or
Motion by-
recommended.
Motion by Bruce. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Troy. Any other questions, discussion, or comments on it? But hearing none, all in favor to adopt our elementary reading curriculum, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries to go with this the Amplify for elementary reading curriculum
And then Super Kids for kindergarten.
and Super Kids for kindergarten, so. That's right, that's the one that you're playing and learning.
It's pretty awesome. I YouTubed it, I watched it in the classroom, I'm like, they're not lying. And then I YouTubed it, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah.
That's good.
But, yeah, it's interesting. Our kindergarten teachers do a pretty awesome job.
No, that's all in the agenda packet. If you wanna read through more and more of it. Other than that, our next order of business would be a librarian media specialist.
So with Betsy retiring, this is something I wanna bring to the board's mind, and we can have more discussion on it. So there are options to hire, a person to fill that position as a library aide. And that would be on the support staff contract. And so it'd basically be like a para pay. With a 4-year degree, that person could get a tier 1 licensure and become what is, considered a librarian. They would have to, they'd be responsible, they'd be considered a teacher. I have a few people that are interested, I've talked to them. They would be able to teach classes, some of those classes would be typing, website design, there's a list of them. I did talk with one person in particular, saying that I would expect them to teach at least 2 classes a semester. I don't wanna take time away from everything else, so doing it correctly, Betsy's done a great job. Fulfilling it as a state licensed librarian, it's a little bit more in depth. But I want the board to think of that. It wouldn't be creating another FTE. The beauty of it, it's a win for our students because it gives them more elective options. Especially things like typing, doing a typing class, I think they're gonna be typing the rest of their lives, at least the rest of the time they're in school. So that would be creating a position. It wouldn't be adding another FTE.
So we would just shift with,
Yeah, so we have two positions we weren't going to fill this coming year. We would use those FTEs to fill this. And that .5, English .5 title. Again, it's not going to put, a big dent on our budget. It's an opportunity to offer more to students.
And we can bring them in as a library aide and then they have someone,
They would, if they have a 4-year degree, they would come in as a
they can
tier
come in.
one.
You can just what?
A tier 1 licensure, so they'd be teaching with a full licensed teaching degree through the state. They can get a tier 1 for a total of 4 years as they work on that degree to get fully licensed.
That's what the requirement is. They need the 4-year degree,
Yes.
any 4-year degree, pretty much.
It could be any 4-year degree, they would just work through whatever coursework they need to do to satisfy it. They'll get fully licensed.
Then otherwise, you got some prospects that have the 4-year degree already.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, and they're very excited about the possibility.
so currently with how we have it set up with Betsy, that is just a support staff role. So like that, Betsy couldn't have taught classes, is what you're saying?
Well, that's the other 4-year degree, so she could have, I don't know why it was ever not broached with her.
I think it's because of the way I came in, because when I started, I was under Charles.
Oh, yeah,
Working in the classroom with Sarah. When we transitioned over, I have a 4-year degree, but at the time, the board and the current superintendent didn't want to pay that out.
sure.
So I never pursued it. Everything said we were fine, and so I just never pursued it, but I have had my 4-year degree the whole time, I just didn't.
Yeah, she very easily could have received, she could have applied for tier 1 and had an actual teacher position.
Uh-huh. But somebody without that cannot teach classes.
Well, they can't be a teacher on record.
On
So
record.
They can't officially teach a class,
Right.
it goes into the grade book.
Right.
And they have, how many years?
So the initial is a year, then they can renew that 3 times after that.
Okay.
So it'll be a total of 4 years. And we do have tier 1 teachers now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a process, it's not uncommon at all in any school districts.
We've done that for, I think automobile, we've done that.
We've done it for Fayette.
Before Fayette, so.
Twice.
We are now.
So,
Is it a half, is it a .5?
What's that?
Be a .5 position?
It would be a 1.0.
1.0.
Yeah, because so library science is part of it, teaching classes is another part of it, they'd be responsible for circulation of the library. A lot goes into it, I mean, that's she puts a lot of work into it. Without teaching classes, she puts a lot of work into it.
I do like the idea of a typing class, so I watch my kid try to type. He doesn't know the old keys.
We do have teachers that do teach typing, we have a computer program, but I don't know, and this could be me just not listening, I don't know that's a class-wide instruction.
Like, we had it with a book.
I got my electric.
You remember?
I got my electric typewriter taken away because I did something very bad, I put a paper clip around the prongs, and the next person plugged it in and fried. Circuit breaker. Thought it was fun, I realized that it wasn't fun, so I typed my junior and senior year on a manual typewriter.
It's good medicine.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Oh, I thought you used to chisel it.
Yeah, I took it. No, I think it's important, the way we go on our phones and tablets and computers all the time, have been typing is, I always thought should be put back in the classroom and, these kids, that tool, because they're gonna need it for their jobs.
I really like the idea of website design,
Mhm.
Website
technology classes.
Mhm.
And I just think that's what our students, our kids are surrounded by technology, by social media, by all of this, so.
I guess if you get into website design, is that something that could be charged for a higher type, like for community, if they want students to create a website for them?
Possible,
Like
Like a
fundraiser.
CT type of
it's possible like start a
business.
club or
Yeah,
a business,
Tie it in like a business class and.
Mhm.
possible.
So, I guess when we need to move on that, then you'll inform us.
Yep, and I would put that on the next, March, or May 20th board agenda
Okay.
for action.
For action. All right, is there any other thoughts on that before we move on, so we prepare? Sounds like we're pretty quiet on that, otherwise we can move forward to our student activities funds.
I was asked to put this on the agenda, by Mulder to discuss.
Yeah, so I asked Tim and Tom to put this on the agenda. Obviously having 5 senior parents on the board, there's been a lot of feedback about the class trip not happening this year and what's gonna happen with those funds, that the students raised to go on the trip. I understand that in the past, those funds have just rolled over to the next class. It's kind of a unique thing because it doesn't happen often. It happened the COVID year where the funds had to roll over.
There's some exceptions that year too.
Yeah, so, you know, you kind of sit with that for a while and you think, yeah, those kids worked hard. Some of them did not. My son did not exert himself over abundantly on the fundraising, but some of the kids really did. And when you hear from their parents and you hear from the kids that they want to say in how those funds are passed down, I kind of tend to agree with that. I understand that in a year where you have 30 kids, it's a little bit of clerical work trying to figure out, but in a normal year, there shouldn't be funds that have to be passed on because they would be going and using those funds. I kind of ran this by Austin. He had like $88 in his account. And thought of his situation individually, so aside from the class, he was a 50-50 shot on being able to go on the trip anyway, given his situation. And he said, I don't want my funds to go to a junior, I want them to go to the football program. Yeah, dude, they should. They should, you raised them, all $88 of them, but you raised them. So my ask of the board is, what can we do to give kids a voice in how those funds are kind of designated after this all happens, after all of their expenses are paid. My thought was, that could get a little tricky, you know, in the case of maybe, like if Austin wanted to pass them to Chase and Charlotte are so young, they don't have an account yet. But maybe it looks like being able to pass it to an organization that they participated in, or a sibling that's in that fundraising timeframe, or maybe an underprivileged friend, underclassmen, that they feel they wanna help out. So I don't know what that looks like clerically, but I think it's a really good idea.
I can see so student activities can be used to pay for activities, but can't be used to pay for gifts. So that's one thing.
Did you get that again, Tim?
They can't be used to pay for a gift or buy something tangible to give to students. They can be used for an activity like a class trip or, I don't know, a class party or something like that.
Yeah,
For instance, if the baseball team wants to buy pizzas and have, end of season party, student activities. As far as the accounting part of that, I'm not sure, I think it would be quite a bit of work.
this year, because there's 30, moving forward,
Right.
it should be very rare. It should be extreme circumstances where, like, you have a Austin that's hurt and can't go on the trip, or somebody has a death in the family and can't go on the trip. But ultimately, the goal of these kids fundraising is to get on that trip or to do something with that money. So these years where you have 30 kids shouldn't ever happen.
in the future, there'd be a system in place, I mean, if we organize right at the beginning,
Yeah, it's not what do we do or what did we do, it's this is what we do because now there's a policy saying if the kid doesn't go, they can designate what happens with their money. We can't give the money back to them, but they have earned it. There's a kid that earned $850. So just to offset,
Funny, that same kid saw one thing during our fundraiser. But at any rate, that's neither here nor there.
he already asked everybody 300 times.
He just came through a sheet thing and said, I got too much fun. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sad that the trip is not happening. I've heard multiple people say that they are also sad. This is maybe some sort of silver lining that we can give those kids, that they can kind of designate what happens with that money. And again, this is after all of their expenses are paid out of that, so it wouldn't happen until the classes, you know, all of that has been paid.
Typically, where does that money go? Just right to the next class?
Yeah, usually it gets rolled down, and for what it's worth, that's the way I've seen it in most districts, it just rolls down to whatever senior funds are expended, it rolls down to the junior class account.
that's how it's been used though, I mean.
So what was the incentive for doing all the fundraising? Just to make money for the next?
I'm not arguing with that, absolutely, cause I get that, I think traditionally, what I've seen, not just here, but in most districts, they do roll it down.
Yeah,
In those situations, it's been used,
it's a
so,
different year.
It's $400 in your own,
yeah,
I think we need to do something better.
you know, and nothing's really been drawn out yet, nothing was utilized, that's the thing, I think. You can see if they've done something or they tripped and they got left over, then you understand lost.
If they got their own sibling to give it to, I don't see why that shouldn't be able to do, honestly.
The only thing that I could come up with was, like, in the situation that I did, where, like, the siblings wouldn't have, we don't have an accounting
Right.
thing for every single person in this building. But if they're of that fundraising age, where you're keeping track of their stuff anyway,
So like Austin could've gave it to a junior, say he's got $88, give it to a junior, go over to the junior and say, I want $88 cash.
yeah,
I don't know, like, how do you
You know how awesome.
We're teaching them
I mean,
I see them in the elementary hallway, holding up kids for
yeah,
their order.
I mean, if you don't have a sibling, like you say, you can't give it to one.
But I mean, like, specifically, he said he wanted his money to go to the football program, or into the football activities account.
I wouldn't think it'd be that hard to move it over there. It's
And
just,
I do like that idea because they're passionate about whether it's FFA or
Speech,
softball or
I mean-
speech. At least it's going to where they're passionate or something that maybe they excel in, they wanna help some other kids in that same activities.
Yeah,
And like I said, I'm not sure about the accounting side of it, how hard it shouldn't that hard, but I'm not sure on the one that does the books, how they do books here inside the office there, but
listen, it's gonna be work, it's 30 kids. So this year, it's gonna
it's
be
30
work.
transactions.
It's 30
So,
moving parts this year. But again, moving forward,
Well,
the
not
goal,
all of those 30 seniors either have money.
yeah, but moving forward, it should never be 30.
Hopefully
Because
it's
the goal is to go
yeah,
Sure.
on the trip. I mean, it would be extreme circumstances, maybe a handful.
So as I understand, paying out to the kids
Not that.
cannot do that. Well, then I can totally get behind if there's a club, group, or younger sibling that's at least a ninth grader, would that, give the kids the option between a sibling, a group, or football, that kind of thing.
yes.
Let the kids have a say on where it goes and be done with it.
I think so too.
That'd be something we could get done, that they can choose if they wanted to go to whether a sports activity or.
Well, I think it would take a board or action, you would have to approve doing that.
So should we put together a proposed policy where it states basically it has to be a sibling that's within that range?
You have to have some guidelines.
It's gotta have guidelines, and it has to be an activity that has an account established.
Right.
Well, and, yeah, some of the school
I
affiliated
think
out there.
that it would be best to create this and then through SBA first,
Okay,
just because we don't wanna get into a legal issue. at all.
right,
So, I think we best should, I mean, we can come up with some language and then vet it first. Because they may say, don't do it,
mhm,
and I don't want us to take that chance.
yeah,
Cause I've heard from some extreme situations elsewhere where a senior class that busted their butt ended up donating to juniors that just sat on their butt. I don't think that's right.
I mean, I don't either, there's not a ton of money there where it's gonna offset an entire, okay, although I will say, let's reverse this and say you had 30 kids this year that didn't go on a class trip, and you had another class of 13 come through the next year. Those 30 kids could have completely offset the cost of
Small class.
a small class.
I would say that whatever the board decides, it'll probably be less messy if they did donate to one of our other activities rather than a sibling.
A sibling.
Or a person. I can see the NFB having issues with donating to a sibling, just because it could be viewed as a gift,
Sure,
but that being a problem at all, I do think we need language on the protocol.
I'd like to have it checked
me too.
first.
I think vet it through them. I also think there's still an opportunity to do something for these seniors. We did the senior sunrise breakfast. There was talks about doing a sunset dinner, so we could possibly do, utilize some of those last funds for
If you want the food truck stuff, or, I mean, if
Yes.
we don't do it ourselves, we just have, do it with paper.
exactly.
Well, and if you had it set up ahead of time, if we get it set up, like, maybe they could have gave some donations to Prom Fest. I don't know if that'd be considered one of the activities. So
Yeah.
they could at least partake in part of the hard work that they did.
Donate to Prom Fest and then win the prize back.
Well. You could have-
That's good thinking. I like that.
This is a school account.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Well,
that's not a
that's
school.
like
like a hypnotist, you could have got more activities.
So that's not school. Prom
No.
Fest is actually a separate,
Oh, I guess,
Prom.
okay.
completely separate thing, but they could have done something for prom.
I do have a comment. That money was gotten under the auspices of the school district. And in the past, because of that, that money had to go into general fund afterwards.
Well, in general fund, all these activities are earmarked in general fund. So what typically would happen is that money will go into general fund and then a spreadsheet is created that says, if it's rolling down to juniors, it would just roll into the junior class. It would go into general fund,
Yeah,
but it would be earmarked in the system for the junior class. So if the board chooses for them to donate it to an activity, it will go into the general fund, but earmarked for whatever that activity is.
yeah, so it would just show up in the activity account balances.
But like finding out what our rules are that we can.
Yeah, let's for sure
Rules
about
and
it.
regulations
Yeah,
and what we
I'll
can and can't
contact
do.
them tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll contact MSBA, I'll contact Policy Services there. And then if that doesn't work, I'll go through, well, I'll talk with Jordan too.
Yep.
You probably know some.
Mhm.
It's all about UFARS, the Uniform Financial Accounting System.
Email just, make sure it's CC if you could.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's bugging me.
I think it was a good discussion, and once we get it vetted, then we'll know the guidelines what we should follow and recommend, but. Other than that, I guess, was there any other questions regarding the student activity fund? We'll follow up and then hopefully have something for the next meeting, I'm assuming.
Yes, I should. I'll start making
should.
contact tomorrow.
Okay,
So if we approve it at the next meeting, you got one day with the seniors left to ask them where they want it to go.
So
They're done the day before.
I
Maybe we
can,
should just tentatively ask them, if this were to pass, where would you like your funds to go?
I can also get the information and send that to the board prior.
okay.
I mean, if the board wants, I don't know, I don't think the board should make a decision on it.
No, I don't think so without
until
vetting
we
it
know.
Yeah,
tonight.
I agree on that. We wanna be safe, so. And that will move, any other discussion on the fund? Other than that, we can move forward with our school board participating in the graduation. At the end of the year, I guess we're,
So Betsy and I were chatting, she was schooling me on how graduation works, which I'm thankful for that. So we have a unique situation with 5 board members, having seniors graduating this year. Typically, a board member will hand a diploma to their student as they're walking across the stage. With 5, that's 75% of our board. So here's what I was thinking. Our 2 members that don't have seniors graduating this year would be Jake and Troy. If you guys, because typically Nate and another person handed diplomas. What I like to do, I present the graduating class. Colby will call names as they come up. The second, right before presenting the class, then I'll call the 5 board members up in alphabetical order. And you can stand to the side, and as your student's name is called, you come up and you present their diploma. So Nate, instead of being up there handing out diplomas, you would hand out Jake's diploma. And then if Troy and Jake could be responsible for handing out diplomas as everybody else comes across the stage. I think that's the best way to accomplish it. Betsy told me that's what we should do. No, but we collaborated, we chatted about it, I think that would be the most fluid way to do it.
that is a way I didn't think of doing that. I mean, that's smooth.
I think it would be smoother, less cumbersome, you get to recognize your child. I mean, every small district I have been in, the school board members handed their own child their diploma. And I would just need you guys to be able to be up on stage handing out everybody else's.
That'll work.
If we're there, I could call a special meeting right before it's sick. We're all there anyway. No, no.
Not sure we have to worry about it.
No.
I'm not sure all the time.
Yeah.
Gonna be
So,
like
just-
barely held on by them.
For those board members that do have graduating seniors, make sure that's okay with you.
Sounds fine.
I mean, I would do it all, if they didn't want to.
Yeah.
I was perfectly fine with that.
I just want you to have the opportunity to recognize your son.
Well, I would have anyway.
You would have, and everybody else's son too.
But that's fine.
And daughter.
That's what you wanna do.
I just think it would be smoother and it will look more maybe professional and systematic.
I thought of it and I thought, I think I'll try
Wait,
a lot for every senior. So probably you guys will cry less.
Works for me.
when you're up there, you think you're gonna do it, unless you get in the rhythm.
You held my daughter back, we have 6 of us up there. Cause my mind was supposed to be looking.
That's kind of what Betsy and I chatted about, and that would be our plan.
We've never had 5, we've always only had 2, which worked out great, cause then 2 of you are handing them out, but now we have 5.
I
And,
said you were close to having 6.
yeah,
Nate and I did it one week last time.
sorry.
Does that sound good for you guys and
Okay.
all the rest of our senior parents?
I'll communicate, I'll make
Yeah.
Betsy again, and I'll communicate with you guys more about it.
Practice is May 19th at 9 AM. Just kidding. You don't have to come.
I got it.
She will tell us what we do.
Yeah.
It's a graduation. Practice.
It's an advantage of having a W, you just follow what everybody else does.
That's true, yeah, you're right.
Never first.
You're a W, you can just.
Sometimes it pays to be last.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, here in- I think we got all that done. I guess our next order would be, we'd be moving to the closed session for accordance with Minnesota State Statute 13D.03,
I think Brian wanted to update the board on something.
or before, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see, yeah, we can do an update before we move into this.
so I went back and looked at all the emails I had, and these are the dates and the timeline of the negotiations we've been going through. On August 25th of last year, we got our first email about it. I got my first email about it. On the 27th, we had our first meeting. On the 21st of October, we had another meeting. There was a grievance brought up during the meeting. Tim had handled that at a later time. On the 28th of October, we had a meeting. They were visually upset when we walked in. About 10 minutes into the meeting, they walked out and said, "We are done for today, we will let you know when we want to meet." On December 15th, they sent an email wanting to meet the first or second week of January. Me and Megan both replied by the 19th that that would work. We set up a meeting for our own committee on the 22nd, and we met on the 5th of January, so we were ready. On the 30th of January, they sent an email, they wanted to meet February 11th. So we hadn't met since October 28th. And we responded on the 1st of February. They both responded by then and said that works. On the 11th of February, I got an email confirming the meeting that was that day. We had another meeting the 25th of February and the 3rd of March, which we made very good progress on agreements. We come to some tentative agreements on stuff. Everything was going real great. On the 11th of March, we had a meeting set up that had to be canceled because a couple of us had conflicts that came up. We redid that canceled meeting the next week on the 18th of March. Tim was not at that meeting. Very short meeting, like 10 minutes long about. They asked if we were 2%, we said yes, and they said we're good. We'll take it to them and see. Multiple times, they said we don't know if it will pass, but we will see what they say. On the 2nd of April, we sent the final draft to them of the contract that we thought we had agreed on. On the 21st of April, we got an email saying they want to meet on April 29th. An hour and a half later, we got an email saying they filed a petition for mediation. On the 25th, we sent an email saying that we'll go to mediation. On the 28th, we got an email saying that mediation was proactive in the event the contract wasn't ratified. By this email, we assumed that they never took the contract to the other members. On the 6th of May, today, we were working on setting up a date to meet with the mediator. Tim's got a little bit of a financial update.
So I did ask Jordan what our projected ending fund balance would be for June. So basically closing out the fiscal year. He said until this month's bills are paid out, which will be done by the board meeting on the 20th. He's projecting about a $200,000 deficit. And that's because of that construction fund. So still we'll be carrying forward a deficit due to that. I won't have those exact numbers probably until the May meeting, or at least a better projection. But at least by June, you'll know a definite closing for the general fund.
So that being said, we have offered 2% and 2%. Even though we're in a financial trouble and we're gonna be an SOD. The tentative agreements we have agreed on is a $300 increase each year to their health, a paid single vision and dental for each employee, 1 extra personal day. We decreased the contract days by 5 days per year, and we increased by 5 days the carryover on the sick days. And there's some stuff we have not agreed to yet. So that's kind of where we're at, what we've been going through. That's the days I had on my email for all our meetings that we've had.
Because you have the $300 health, 1 extra, that was 1 extra
Personal day.
personal day, yeah.
Personal day? 2 personal days.
One extra personal day, and then they can carry over 1, but it don't matter much.
Okay. And that was right now, that's the latest update for off your notes.
Thanks for the update.
Thanks, Brian. Is there any other, I guess if anybody needs to, you make copies if anybody missed anything, I suppose you can,
Yeah.
if anybody has questions for me, make sure you didn't miss anything. So I know I was trying to keep up with you. But hearing that, I was just gonna go back to Tim's with that $200,000 deficit. I just wanna be clear that that got rolled over to general, cause statutory or legally, we couldn't carry that in
Correct.
construction, correct?
You can't carry a deficit in your construction.
Yeah, I just wanna make that clear, so everybody's been trying to keep up with everything here, that they understand that that's why that got moved over there, cause we can't legally carry it in construction for longer than,
They're not supposed to have it at all.
not at all, okay.
This doesn't have to do anything with our line of credit or anything, does it?
Not our line of credit, our bond rating did get downgraded. As expected, it did not get downgraded to the point, that we thought it would because we've been proactive.
Other than that, it's the update. If anybody, so if there's no other questions for Brian or Tim on that, the update here between us, we can take a motion, move into our closed session in accordance with Minnesota State Statute 13D.03 and 13D.04. For the purpose of labor negotiations, we need to go into close for these reasons. We have a motion for that.
I'll make a motion.
Megan,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Moving into closed at 6:09.
Will there be any business conducted after the closed session?
Nope, nope,
Not on the agenda.
not on the agenda here. It's no business after this. We just review our succeeding meetings. So, being that this is a special meeting, that's, we got all the agenda, so.
Yeah, we'll
Thank you.
We'll move into closed.
stop at 3.
Thought of like, for the class funds and stuff, like using for like class reunions, can
I don't think that can happen, cause I don't